Good morning. You must be our new recruit. Please come in. What we have to discuss should be done in privacy and peace. Follow me, please. Welcome to the tent of Du Frenger Gada. It is a very privileged few who are ever permitted to enter here. Before we properly begin, I suppose we should ensure that we're all on the same page. As I'm sure you've heard, the Varden lost many of its spellcasters during the Battle of the Burning Plains, and as we've gone without a conflict for several days now, Nazwada has given us permission to start recruiting new prospects into our fold. By means which I shall not reveal to you just yet, we have determined that you have the aptitude to become a magician, and by extension, a member of Du Frenger Gada. However, simply possessing the ability to work magic is no guarantee that you'll successfully be a spellcaster. Far from it, in fact. It requires immense discipline, a keen memory, and above all, a resourceful mind. If you possess these traits, you may yet succeed. We are here to help you with the rest, by instructing you in the ways of magic. Sadly, because of our limited time together, you must understand that a proper apprenticeship is impossible. However, since you've proven yourself to be competent and mature as a soldier when you served directly under the Varden, we will not withhold our secrets from you. This allows me to teach you some of the deepest secrets of magic that we know from the very beginning. So, today, I shall give you a lesson on the fundamental workings of magic. Now, what you are about to learn is not to be repeated to anyone outside this tent. As you are about to learn, knowledge is the most powerful weapon in all of magic. No matter how innocuous or obvious you may think something is, in the wrong hands, it can get people killed. Am I understood? Good. I'm glad you take this seriously. It will make it all much easier for both of us. Now, where do we begin with such short time? Alright. Firstly, it must be understood that magic, despite some of its outward appearances, is bound by ironclad rules. As assuredly as the sun will rise and a stone will fall, the laws of magic will be enforced. For magic is, at its core, the art of energy manipulation. Whenever a magician, for example, lights a fire with a spell, he's calling forth the energy to ignite the wood, and directing it in a manner which produces heat. Now, one of the basic laws of the universe is that both matter and energy cannot be created or destroyed, simply changed from one form into another. Suppose I eat my dinner, and the next morning I perform my daily exercises. There's a process behind this. Our bodies convert the chemical energy in the food into mechanical energy in the form of motion, and magic conforms to this very same rule. The matter and energy for a spell has to come from somewhere, and when casting a spell, the energy will come from your own body. You may see the danger already. If you must supply the energy, what would happen if you attempted a spell which consumed more energy than you have? The answer, morbid as it may be, is that you will die. Lifting and throwing a pebble, for instance, would take only a tiny amount of energy, as if you had thrown it with your own arm. But lifting and throwing a boulder, even if you only threw it a few feet, might leave you bedridden for days. Should you try to lift a mountain, you'd be dead before it shifted an inch. I tell you all of this now to discourage experimentation without our oversight. Long have we attempted to understand exactly what our own limitations are, but such precision is best left to others with more time on their hands. I have heard that one of King Orin's spellcasters is attempting to establish a formula of exactly how energy relates to motion. Isaac knew something or other. It might be useful eventually, but we've got a war going on, and we have more pressing needs than the workings of a natural philosopher. This is why it is so important for spellcasters to maintain their physical fitness. A healthy body contains more energy and can process it faster. So don't think that being removed from the normal troops is going to get you off your exercises. And now we come to the true secret of magic. There is a language. Well, that's not quite right. There is the language, known simply to us as the ancient language. And it's the language of reality itself. When we say fire in this tongue, we're giving the word that our society has decided to use to designate that phenomenon over there in our hearth. But saying that word in the ancient language is not simply a word for fire. It is the word. It is fire's true name, if you will. The ancient language is a very carefully guarded secret for this very reason, and magicians treat their arsenal of words and grammar as a precious secret. All magical spells are formed and expressed with the ancient language as their structure. Now, by structure, I mean that the sentences we form with the ancient language are a framework within which we may work our intentions through our thoughts. This is simultaneously mortally dangerous and incredibly useful. If I wanted to get our campfire going to cook tonight, I could just use one word, fire, in the ancient language. But within that one word are an infinite number of possibilities. Where is the fire? How hot is it? Is it big? I could just as easily light myself on fire, or make a blaze so large it would kill me from the energy needed. This is why a disciplined mind is so important. As long as I have in my mind an image of exactly what I want, the word fire will be enough. But if my concentration were to waver even slightly, if I were to look at you, picture you in my mind while conjuring the spell, I might set you ablaze. This is why you will sometimes see our mages with their eyes closed or locked on just one point while casting. However, the opposite is also true. If I were fluent enough in the ancient language to say, light a fire in this hearth of just sufficient size to cook our meal, and let it be extinguished when the meal is done, then there is no ambiguity and no danger in the spell. Nothing could go wrong there. But of course, that requires fluency in a language which even a few words are carefully guarded. Only the elves who speak the language fluently could achieve such a task. And though Arya has allied herself with the Varden, she is still a subject of the elves, and is bound not to reveal her full knowledge of the language to us human spellcasters. So we first have this interesting dichotomy. On the one hand, a creative person could perform wonders with a few words, but at the great risk of the spell going awry. I've heard rumors of masters creating diamonds from a river, simply with the ancient language's word for water. On the other hand, predefined spells can be created and memorized over time to produce specific and consistent results. For example, I am not a doctor or a surgeon. I don't really know how the human body works. I could not simply place my hand on a wound and command it to heal, because I cannot guide the process with my mind. However, if I memorized an elaborate sentence given to me by an elf to close a cut left by a wound, and then one to remove infection from an arrow wound, and another to mend a broken finger, I do not need to know how it works exactly. As long as my grammar and pronunciation are flawless, then I can accomplish certain specific tasks without danger of harming myself or others. This is why, in battle, the first method is used. A fight can come in any form, so you need to be quick, creative and fluid in your spell weaving. But outside of a fight where we have time to sit and think about a spell, it's far wiser to use the second method. Look for a scroll containing a spell to do exactly what you want, or consult with other members of Dufrangor to carefully compose a proper spell on your own. This is how our study of magic comes together, by cooperating and sharing our knowledge. And now we come back to you, my young pupil. We will instruct you in this art. Under us, you will learn the deeper mysteries of the world. You will acquire a power both dangerous and wonderful, and you can serve the Varden in their campaign against the Empire. Tomorrow we will begin. Please move all your belongings into the vacant tent near here. Bring your sword with you and a small, smooth pebble. Our lesson will begin there. Until tomorrow, I bid you a fine evening, and I look forward to continuing down this wandering path together. Good night.